excited to finally be doing this. You're from EV City, electric vehicle car dealers, but yeah, I guess I'd love to start there. What is EV 101? What is electric vehicle 101?
So the main thing is that we've had electric cars for a long time. It's just that they're becoming really mainstream now that the price of batteries becomes more affordable. So as more and more of us have cell phones with lithium-ion batteries and things like that, and then scooters and electric cars, the more electric batteries that are made makes the price of batteries cheaper. And so as batteries are getting bigger and cheaper, it means they can power cars to run longer and longer, and the price of electric cars are coming down. So most people just charge their electric car by plugging into a normal wall socket. It just plugs into a normal power point, like how you charge your cell phone. It's the same sort of thing, similar sort of cable, a little bit bigger cable, but same deal.
Now, obviously, we've got the EV subsidy. How does that work?
Well, basically how it works is the government have introduced what they call the clean car discount, and starting January that's going to make petrol cars more expensive. Petrol cars will have a small tax on them, and then electric cars and cleaner cars will have basically a rebate, a refund basically. And so how it works is someone would buy a car for, let's say, $20,000 today. When it's registered after the 1st of July, so when you drive your car home after the 1st of July, you get back $3,450, $3.5 grand off the price. It gets refunded back to you by the government into your bank account.
So you got a petrol car and you're running low on gas, you go to a petrol station. But how does that work with EVs?
The easiest thing is you know, when you're driving them, it shows you how far you can drive. So it shows you like you can go 100 k's, 99 k's, 98 k's, 97 k's. I think my math's adding up so far. But if you're getting low, you can stop at a fast charger. So the big fast chargers can fill up a Nissan Leaf in about 20 minutes. And they cost about $10. So there's another Nissan Leaf that we're going past. You see them everywhere in Christchurch. So yeah, you can stop just for like 20 minutes and fill up the car quickly if you need to downtown. But most people just charge at home and just plug it in overnight and it's done in the morning.
It's easy, eh?
There's a really cool app called PlugShare, which shows you where a lot of free slow charges are. So there's a lot of charging stations around Christchurch which are free to use. And then there are also the fast chargers as well. And so there's an app on your phone which shows you where they are. So it's really quite cool.
Because some of the charges are free as well. Is that correct?
It is, yeah. So you get a cable to plug into those ones, and they're in car park buildings, and New Brighton by the pier, Sumner by the library there, the Botanic Gardens, at the Adventure Park, places where you might want to be for a couple of hours to go for a walk or do your shopping or to hang out, and your car's getting charged for free, which is pretty neat.
That's awesome. What would you say are some of the common misconceptions that people have about electric vehicles?
I think people think if it's cheap to run and good for the environment, it's somehow not going to be fun to drive. It's going to be slow, or it's going to be like the diet version, or it's going to feel a little bit like, I don't know, like it's just lacking something. But it's just really nice to drive an electric car because it doesn't need gears. An electric motor doesn't need gears. You put your foot down, it just accelerates. It just feels really quick and light and smooth.
And what about maintenance?
Once a year you get a warranty fitness, and pretty much any normal petrol car mechanic can do that as well. The warranty fitness is checking the things like the brakes and the tyres, the lights, pretty standard parts. So an electric car like a Nissan Leaf is quite similar to a Nissan Tiida or a Toyota Corolla. They're quite familiar to mechanics. There's not a lot that's wildly different. Maybe once every year you might get it serviced as well, and a lot of garages are happy to do that. There's a lot less that needs to be serviced on an electric car, so they don't have to do as much work. There's no oil changes, no cam belts, no spark plugs. You're saving a lot of money. It's a lot easier to do. It takes a lot less time, and yeah, it's just simpler all around.
What do you think is the future for EVs, especially in New Zealand?
I think it's really exciting to see that. So there's two aspects to the subsidy and to the clean car discount. There'll be a lot of corporations buying electric cars, like fleet cars. So the big companies you can think of, New Zealand companies, will suddenly be buying fleets of brand new, let's say, Tesla Model 3. There'll be about $63,000 after the subsidy that brand new cars get. So
you can get a Tesla for $63,000.
Yep. So how it works is with a used electric car, you get $3,450 off. With a brand new car, if you're buying a brand new electric car in New Zealand, you get $8,600. So because the brand new prices are more expensive, they're giving you more off. The government's refunding more of the money. if you think of fleets of vehicles and large firms coming in, and maybe they buy, let's say, 5 or 10 Tesla Model 3 at about $63,000 each.
Yeah.
They might then sell those in 2 or 3 years' time, so the likes of you and me can get them.
Yeah.
And so as fleets sort of start churning through vehicles, you'll see more and more of those sort of brand new ones coming available after 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Making them more affordable for everyday New Zealanders to be able to buy those as well.
Wow.
It's great to see more and more people going electric. Like there's the Zilch car next to us, there's a red Nissan Leaf in front of us, and a black one just went this way. But for a lot of people, it's going to be their first electric car. So they might have a lot of questions to ask about it. They've never bought an electric car before. Maybe they've never driven an electric car before. And so if they can come along and get a really good experience with it and understand that it's actually, they can understand that actually it's not that scary, that it just plugs into the wall like a cell phone does. I mean, when you think about it like that, it's a lot more approachable and a lot easier to understand.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. It's always cool to talk about electric cars.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. I think this conversation was very timely, and I guess, yeah, at the end of the day, just share some information, share some knowledge.
So what would you like me to say?
Okay, go.
I'm Jordan from EV City, and this has been Driving Better Business.